Well, this is exciting. This has just arrived. And before we get into the video, I am not sponsored. This is not something that has been sponsored by anybody. Everything you see here has come out of my own pocket. Yeah. I have needed a windscreen in the Princess for a very long time. Ever since I bought the car, the windscreen has got micro scratches, there's grinder spray on it from some repairs before I got the car, and it's generally just been pretty awful. A while ago I found out that Pilkingtons, who made the original windscreen for the car, actually have a classic car windscreen program where they can custom make a new windscreen for you to the original pattern, which is what's in this box. Also, this rubber seal, the Owners Club, which I'm not currently a member of, they did a small run of brand new windscreen seals. These are another item that just isn't available. As far as I'm aware, they're no longer available. They'd need enough orders to put another batch in, and as you can imagine, there aren't that many Princess owners wanting to do a new windscreen in their car. The other thing that this will allow me to do is get the roof painted. Unfortunately, we were going to do that this year. It's currently November 2024, and we were expecting to be able to get the windscreen done September, maybe October. It's now too late to paint the roof, so this is all going to have to wait until next year, which is a little bit of a disappointment. Let's open the box, and hopefully it's okay. It's a very big box. I will say one of the things I was disappointed about is how long this took. I ordered this in June of 2024 and paid for it and was told it would be 3 months. We're now quite a bit more than 3 months later, and it's here, but I had hoped it would be here sooner. For some reason, at some point it had to go via Finland. Not sure why. Now then, I would really like to take this out of the box to show you better, but with the way it sits in the bottom there, I'm really worried that if I do, I won't get it back in again on my own easily. So it's better to keep it safe like this. Can't see any damage on it at all. The other thing that's nice is you see the black stripe here. I wasn't sure whether that would be there or not. These windscreens originally do have that black stripe along the bottom, so when you're inside the car you can't see your wiper blades, which is a nice touch. On my car that's almost all gone now. Every time I turn the fans on it blows a bit more in my face. Well, we shall come back to this video. It'll be a couple of seconds for you, but it might be a few weeks or months for me, and we'll hopefully be getting this fitted. I'm going to put that windscreen seal that I've got in this box with the screen, now that I have somewhere to put that, and I just have to figure out where on earth I'm going to put this massive box. I've got an interesting bit of work to do here. An exciting thing is happening with the Princess finally this weekend, which is we're getting the roof painted because the windscreen's going to go in. As long as we don't, you know, have any horrors happen along the way, which, you know what she's like. Let me show you something. One of the things I'm going to have to do is clean all of this scuttle off. Now this hasn't been done in a while because of the way things have been, but because I'm not painting the whole car, we've got to decide where we're cutting off what's getting painted. With the windscreen out, it makes sense to do this section. And because of this rubber seal here, which seals against the bonnet, we can use that as a cut-off line. The wings need to be replaced, well, this one needs to be repaired, this one needs to be replaced, so there's no point going that far. So imagine a line drawn there. So I have to clean all that up. We're going to do the A-pillars, because that disappears down here behind the wing and is very difficult to get to. I've got to take these trims off, which are very fragile and impossible to replace. And the other cut-off line is back here where there used to be a vinyl trim, because this is an HL originally, so there was a vinyl trim on the back pillar. I removed that years ago, welded up the trim holes because I was getting water trapped and rust. I didn't want that. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get the rear screen out to do this job, but since it's only this top edge that's a problem, I think we can mask that, and I think we can get away with it, because all of this section has been done when the screen came out for some repairs in the past. Yeah, the roof is mostly clean as it is, but since we're going to be sanding it, I'm not worried about deep cleaning any of that. This pink paint will come off and we will have a new colour going on. And then to remove the windscreen, this is the old seal we can't save, even if we wanted to. But to be honest with you, when you look at it down here, the rubber's just disintegrating anyway. It comes off black on your hands, black when you wash it. But I've got to save this chrome insert. It's not the same as Mini, because it's flat on the back. It doesn't have that little triangular point on the back of it, so it's a harder one to get hold of. I'm just going to have to reuse this. It's fairly new. I did do it a couple of years ago, until I can find a proper replacement. It also means I don't have the little joiner that goes here. This is how much it's shrunk by as well. There should be a stainless steel trim that goes over there. I don't have it. So we'll just have to make do. It's not the end of the world. When we paint it, the bonnet will come off temporarily because we'll need it out of the way. The wipers will come off. We'll probably just mask up the washer jets, to be honest. I'll find out when the friend that's doing the painting does it, because he's the one setting the rules on what we do. Am I going to clean the rest of the engine bay? Maybe. Can I get to the bottom of why water gets in the car? Hopefully. One of the other reasons for doing this is not just that I need the new windscreen in that I bought at great expense, and the windscreen seal, which I got when I was a member of one of the Princess Clubs, but I've also got to find the cause of the water ingress in the cabin, which I think is through the windscreen seal. I'm not 100% sure. The water comes in sometimes through the fresh air vents, which is a bit peculiar. I'll show you why. If you look in there, that cylinder, that's your fresh air intake for the footwell vents in the cabin. And sometimes water comes through those, and I don't really understand how it's doing it. Now, it might be because there's a drain point in here somewhere that could be blocked. There's a lot of detritus in there that's come from somewhere. So it could be that. It could be that the seam seal around the bottom of the tube there has failed somewhere. I don't know. That one's always been a mystery to me, because it's not this part up here, because that does drain straight out through the wing like it should do. The other thing it could be is there could be rust in this surround I don't know about. They do have a habit of going at the bottom of the A-pillars. But on my car, with the exception of some failing paint blisters here, because this isn't crusty, it's quite solid, it's just this paint started lifting, there's none of the usual signs of the rust damage on the A-pillars. So I'm really hopeful when we take the screen out we don't find any welding work, but I won't know until we do it. So it's a little bit scary. Let's get this cleaned up, make a start. Oh, I've already taken off these grills as well. That's what these things are, and they're just two big fixings here. You just give them a half turn and then they pop out so that you can get into that scuttle area and clean it out. I've identified a couple of problems that were there. Underneath here, there is a little gap, and that does drain out from up here. But when this fills up with enough water, now then, can you see that? There's a square hole in the middle here. And because it's not draining fast enough, it's actually getting past that lip and getting through there. There's not a lot I can do about that, unfortunately. Also, on this side, now this is hidden behind the fuse box, so I didn't really know about this, but the area that should drain on this side is full of sealant. So I wonder if this just isn't draining, and it looks like there's a bit of a rust hole in there as well, which is completely hidden because this goes in that gap and covers it up. And I'm going to have to cover that up again because I can't deal with that today. I still have loads of soapy water, so I think we will give the rest of this engine bay a bit of a wipe down, just spruce it up, won't hurt. That's a very good thing. I had a broggle with the screwdriver in this hole, and yeah, it wasn't draining at all. Now it is. Not exactly from the right place, because what was happening in here, all of this was filling up with water and getting above the level of the fresh air tube that's in the corner there. So that might be what my water ingress problem actually has been all these years. That'd be nice, because that might fix it. I've done my best, that's all I can do. The paint in the engine bay is it's not great. Really, it all needs redoing, but it's an engine out job. I'm not in a position to do that right now. Maybe I will be in the future. There you go. Looks better on camera than in person. I'm glad the water's draining out of this piece now. And it looks like it was this side that was the problem, allowing it to overfill. There's probably water in the car now. I'm going to leave this trim and these vents off because we're just going to take them off tomorrow anyway, and put the gutter trims somewhere safe, and we are as ready as I can be until we get that windscreen out. Scary times. If you're wondering about these trims, they are plastic. They're like a chrome backed moulded plastic. They've got like a peak in the middle of them, and they are no longer made. You can't get spares because they all do this. They go brittle on the edges, and when you remove them, every single time you run the risk of them cracking, and you can't repair them. Unfortunately, because the ends are shaped, you can't just use like a U-channel trim. So I have just been nursing these along as carefully as I can, because I know I'll probably never be able to replace the things, which is a bit of a shame.